Hey guys, what's up? Today I'm sitting in a Model S P85D. Long story short, TARDIS, my Model 3, had to go to the service center and they gave me a loaner, and this is the loaner. So I just thought, why not make a short video about this P85D. This is the first performance Model S, so it was released around in 2015, and when it was released it was a hyped car. What I really like about Model S and Model X cars is this instrument cluster. I think this is quite fantastic actually. It would have been really nice if Tesla kept some form of this instrument cluster for Model 3. I just did the same trip that I did for testing the Aero wheel covers for my Model 3. And as you can see, the consumption is way higher than what I get with my Model 3. So this car is quite thirsty. The other interesting thing is that it has something called range mode. And what range mode does is that it distributes the torque, and it sort of reduces the heating and cooling. And that supposedly increases the range. So I have been driving in range mode since I got this car, but still my consumption is quite high. I also really love this display of Model S cars. So this is from 2015, and just imagine at that time there were no cars even with a good infotainment system, and Tesla had this sort of infotainment system, so it was way ahead of its time. And this car actually has done 100,000 kilometers, which is quite a lot, and I think they supercharged it a lot. So the Model S cars used to have this sort of charging throttle. If you supercharge or DC charge it a lot, then you get some sort of throttling of charging speed. So I haven't seen it go beyond 60 kilowatt, and I started charging at 37%. It's supposed to charge at 120. So the infotainment system is great. You don't have the theater functionalities, the theater features, so you cannot see Netflix and YouTube and stuff like that, but you have all these games. I never played games in my Tesla, so I don't really use the game functionalities. You have also, of course, the toy box, the mandatory the mandatory Tesla fart, the emission mode. And it has autopilot version 1. So the thing with the Model S autopilot is that they have a separate stock here that you have to use to activate, deactivate, and then also adjust the speeds and stuff like that. So I just used it on the Autobahn. It is a bit shaky, I would say, especially the steering. So sometimes it goes too far on the right, sometimes it goes too far on the left. So it's a bit nervous, I think. But it has auto lane change, which I really love. I wish Model 3 had this. It is very useful to have this functionality in Germany, because people drive at different speeds when there is no speed limits, and it's often quite an intense process to change the lanes, so you have to check a lot, because sometimes cars are coming at 120 and sometimes cars are coming at 200, so you really have to pay attention. So if you have an auto lane change, that actually reduces a lot of stress, I think. So I hope at some point Tesla pushes the auto lane change in the autopilot standard autopilot feature in Model 3. So I was enjoying this auto lane change. Just changed every time I change lane, I use this auto lane change functionality. So that's great. Other than that, what else can I talk about? I mean, it's just the usual Tesla, so you do everything from your infotainment system, the touch screen. The other thing is the air suspension. This is also really great. The car is really comfortable to drive. It's a huge car, so it's like a boat. It's not so easy to park it, but when you're driving it, you don't really feel that it's a huge car, so it feels really light when you're driving it. Maybe it's because it has a lot of power. So I think it has 469 horsepower and 967 Newton meters of torque, so it's a really powerful car. So the air suspension, you can adjust it a bit. I did not try to tweak it. I don't want to, because it's not my car. Other features, just standard Tesla, The interior quality is much better than Model 3. It should be. It used to be a 120k car. And one thing is that if you pay 120,000 euro for a car, you would expect a bit better. Like if you get into a Model S, the interior quality is way better. But that was Tesla at that time. So now I think the Model 3s have much better interior quality. So it's not bad, but for 120k I would expect a bit more. So the really nice thing about these models is that they used to have this kind of open space, and you can keep a lot of stuff here. So there was no center console here, so you just have an armrest here, and that's it. The back seats, this was the special edition back seats. I think later on they did not make these back seats again. So it had these side supports, but when you fold the back seats, it does not fold flat. So they just stopped making it. Therefore, the seats are also quite nice. Actually, they're quite sporty. So you can see there is a lot of side support. So it's very comfy, and it has lumbar support, which is really nice. Of course, Model 3 also has lumbar support, and this is it also has heated seats and all this good stuff. The other strange thing about these these Model S cars is that they never had those door pockets. I am not so sure if Model S's now come with door pockets, but this is often I don't really understand why they make a car without door pockets. So maybe they thought there is so much space, so you don't need door pockets. The seats are actually made from real leathers, unfortunately. So it's not like the vegan leathers that you get in Model 3s these days. What else? You have a button for the glove box, unlike Model 3s. And there is, of course, piano black here. Actually, there is also piano black in this space where you can put stuff. This is not a really nice place for piano black, because piano black is scratch magnet, so there are thousands of scratches there. I can already see. Yeah, so that's more or less about the interior of the car. And the other things, like it has this kind of panoramic roof, and you can actually open this panoramic roof, unlike Model 3. Let me just try it. So okay, so you can just say, okay, open, and then if you want to stop it, you just slide it. This is awesome. Alright, so let me just get out of the car and show you a little bit on the outside. Okay, this is the car. This is how it looks like. It's a red model S P85D. So it has the earlier front grille design or grillish design, which I never liked, but hey, they changed it later on. So this is basically something like some piano black stuff again. Yeah, the color is quite nice. I would have gotten this color, but it's 2,000 euro more for Model 3. So yeah, never got that. Yeah, you can see it's the P85D, so it doesn't have the ludicrous, so it doesn't have this line. So P is performance, 85 is the battery size, 85 kilowatt hour, and D is dual motor. Yeah, the other thing that you get is this kind of lift gate. So it has automatic lift gate, and you can just press this button. Let me also show you the boot space. The boot space is gigantic actually. So you can literally sleep here, and you also have a lot of space here underneath. Okay, let me close it. This one does not have CCS, so you still have to use the old modified Type 2. So you cannot take advantage of the high-speed CCS chargers you get these days. Yeah, so it's a bit cold outside, so I just get in the car. Some other unique things about this car. So you have these acceleration modes. You can go Insane Plus, which is supposed to have 3.4 seconds 0 to 60. I am putting it in Sport, which is fast enough for me. With the range mode, it's good enough. If you get the ludicrous, you will also have more buttons here. Ludicrous, I think that one had 2.8 seconds or something like that, 0 to 60 miles per hour. About the charging port, so back then Tesla used to have those modified Type 2, which could achieve, I think, 140-ish kilowatt speed. But then when Model 3 was released, it was released with CCS. And then you could also replace the Model S charging port. I think you have to pay about 400 euro or something like that to get it replaced from the Tesla service centers. Then you get to use all the CCS chargers. With this kind of modified Type 2, you could also use the Shedamo chargers. Basically, Tesla used to sell, I don't know if they still sell it, so they used to sell this Shedamo adapter, which you can just easily plug in. It was a quite chunky thing, but it used to work. The problem with Shedamo is that you would get only 50 kilowatt chargers at least around in Germany. They also have a CCS adapter, actually they sell for this modified Type 2 and CCS conversion. Never used it, but supposedly it's able to take really high speeds. Yeah. So I will just finish charging. I think I will charge up to 90%, and then I will drive back. We are charged to 90%. Finally, it took forever compared to a Model 3. But hey, this is how it is. But still better than all the other electric cars available in the market, I guess. So if someone wants to buy a second-hand electric car, I think Model S is a good choice. So we pushed 40 kilowatt hour into the battery, and now I will reset my trip meters, and then we get going. We are back to the Autobahn. The sun came out, so the weather is a bit nice, but the temperature is still 8 degrees. The consumption dropped a bit this time, 252 watt hours per kilometer. What you see here is something that we call in Germany Elefantenrennen, when the slow trucks are trying to overtake. Anyway, so yeah, this guy just pulled in front of me without even signaling. He's probably sleeping or something, I don't know. I will try to show you an example of the auto lane change just after this car passes me. Okay, let's do that. So I just engaged it. Now it's doing everything on its own. This is awesome. So I cancel the turn signal. It does its lane change, and I will try to pull back now. Hopefully it does that as well. Yes, it's doing it. Yeah. Okay, it did it. It was a bit hesitant because I think the truck behind was a bit too close. Anyway, so we are driving to Munich now, so there is a lot of traffic. Yeah. The consumption is now 234 again, so it's dropping and dropping, partly because we're actually driving downhill right now. So yeah, that's everything from the driving part. I have arrived at my destination. This time I drove 36.2 kilometers and I arrived with 80%, so I consumed 10%. The consumption this time was quite good. It's 195 watt hours per kilometer, so this is more or less the realistic consumption, I guess, for Model S P85D. The reason for this lower consumption is just because I think the nice weather. I was driving mostly on the Autobahn, so the speed was more or less the same like the last time. So I will need to do some shopping right now from this supermarket Edeka, and then I will get back home. I don't really know how long my Model 3 will be at the service center. I still haven't received a call. But if I have this car for a few more days, then I will probably do some more tests, possibly do a long distance trip, and then I will make a video of that. So with that, I thank you for watching the video. If you like the video, please give a thumbs up, and see you in the next one.